Mhm. Test, test. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, another day, another dollar. January 26th. The month is almost over. What's going on, fellas? Welcome to another live podcast. Bearcat Live. How's it going, guys? I'm broadcasting from Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. Check the chat window. You're going to see a caller's link there for those who are interested in hopping on and opining on today's topic. Why the Tinubu administration needs more time, a global brief. Rich and Barricat, do you think the Tinubu administration needs more time after 2 years and 8 months in office? After everything that's going on, Rich and Barricat, do you think the Tinubu administration needs more time? You're dying for my answer, aren't you? You see, it doesn't matter how I slice or dice this. This isn't a pro administration or anti administration or even neutral administration stand. But I gotta take a stand though. So no matter where I go, the direction that I go, I'm neither right nor wrong. This is just my own worldview based on my experience. I don't speak for all Nigerians. I speak for one person and one person alone, me. So I speak for. See, this is why this is a global brief. Some of you are suffering in silence, murmuring in silence. Could it be this? Could it be that? Yes, not everybody has a platform. That's why we are opening this up. Feel free to come in and chime in. Let the world hear your point of view. The Tinubu administration reports card. Is it a F? Is it a C? Is it a D? Is it a B? Is it an A minus, A plus in your own personal opinion and in your own worldview? So I'm going to answer that question. Rich, do I think the Tinubu administration needs more time? And the answer is yes. Yes, I do. Why, Rich? Everything that's happening right now. Someone responded to me the other day on the Rich and Barry Cat Telegram. Check that out, by the way, guys. Telegram/and Barry Cat group. Feel free to join. It's free. It's a public group. They said, oh, something, I'm paraphrasing here, fellas, but something to the effect of I should be ashamed of myself. And why am I defending the Tinubu administration after everything that's going on in Nigeria, all the poverties, all that stuff that's happening in Nigeria? How dare you? Last time I checked, it's a free country, and I wasn't necessarily defending him. I was just telling you guys to tune in today for my point of view on why I think the administration needs more time. After 2 years and 8 months in office. So today's discussion, we're going to focus on reform, some structural constraints, and how the Tinubu administration looks in my lens. So we're going to look at. So viewers can watch this live. And like I said, if you're interested in hopping on and opining, feel free to click that link. But before you do that, though, before you come on, I'm going to need to know your, not necessarily your position, but just message on the chat to let me know. So in that way I can accept. This isn't a free for all. It's an open/closed invitation. Here's the number one reason, and then I'm gonna go into some of the challenges. So follow me. I'm qualified to talk about this. You see, don't let the Yankee base fool you. It's a disguise. I'm a Nigerian, true and true. I've seen it all. I was born in 78 in Lawanson, Ekati, Surulere. I've seen it all. The coup after coup. That was my childhood. Coup today, coup tomorrow. Coup today, coup tomorrow. I don't think I ever saw a democratically elected president growing up in Nigeria. So I'm qualified to speak on this topic. Because like I said, I've seen it all. The number one reason why I think the Tinubu administration needs more time is because it's an elected government, meaning the people went, they cast their votes, and Tinubu ran, just like everybody else. He ran for office. He formed a party. He picked the Vice President Shetima, and he ran for office against Peter Obi and his person, against Atiku and his person. Then at the end of the day, whether you like it or don't like it, whether your candidate won or did not win, he was elected president and ratified by the Nigerian government as a sitting president of Nigeria. So we got to respect that he was an elected official. The alternative would have been my childhood, where someone just points a gun at you and tells you to resign and they're taking over. It happened. Babangida did it. Buhari did it. Abacha did it. I didn't experience the presidency of Olusegun Obasanjo. He was the one that started what? Is it, you guys call it the Fourth Republic or the Fifth Republic? Whatever. It doesn't matter. In 99. I was largely tuned out of Nigeria then because I was just tired. I was done. You guys can have it. Keep it. It's yours. So let's agree on one thing. It may not have been your candidate. I wasn't there. I didn't vote. I'm actually ineligible to vote in Nigeria. I can't legally vote from abroad. Although I'm a Nigerian citizen, I hold dual citizenship, Nigeria and the United States. So I can legally vote here because this is my principal residence. I live in the US. Naturalized US citizen. So I live here. I can vote here, but I can't vote in Nigeria. I don't even think that's allowed. If it's allowed, let me know so I can participate in the upcoming election. So he was elected. I honestly, in my humble opinion, don't see the upside of being the president of Nigeria. I don't see the upside of being the president of Nigeria. They'll open your yash. They'll criticize you. No matter what you do, you can't be, I guess they're assuming you need to be a superhuman or something. I just don't see the upside. It's not as if being the president of Nigeria has any financial upside. How much is the president of Nigeria making? Nigeria that today doesn't have an advantage in anything. But somebody has to govern the country, though. The country needs to be governed. So people like Tinubu and Obi and Atiku, anybody that has the cojones to run for office, whether you like them or not, they need to be commended. Do you know why? You couldn't pay me today to be the president of Nigeria. I just don't see the upside of that presidency. I really just don't see it. You're looking at a nation number 52 global GDP position. Nigeria ranks number 52. $285 billion annually is Nigeria's contribution to the global GDP. That's the country's output. How many people are in the Nigerian population? What, 200 and what? Some might argue 250, some might argue 230, some might say maybe we're just cracking 200 million people. Take $285 billion and divide it by 250 million people. Let's just give it that number. That is just over $1,000 per capita. Nigeria's contribution to the global GDP is meager at best. Small compared to the population of the country. Let me give you another example. The United States, where I sit, $30 trillion annually is what the United States contributes. That's the output in global GDP. 30% from a population of what? 330,000? Sorry, 330 million people. That's a $85,000 per capita. The closest is China at 15,000 per capita. Nigeria is like $1,000 per capita. Nobody comes close to the US of A. Nobody. When you have a nation that contributes less than 0.3% of global GDP, I've said this, I should probably say this publicly. Nobody in Nigeria should be flexing. I am not impressed. I'm not impressed with your big house and your fancy cars in Nigeria. 285 billion GDP. Who are you flexing for? Maybe the locals that haven't really seen the world. Nobody in Nigeria should be flexing. I'm not saying don't drive your nice car and Wike is driving a Rolls Royce. Wike is driving a Rolls Royce in a country that only generates $285 billion GDP. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed by the fancy houses that runs on generator. I'm not impressed by the homes that are built on subpar concrete. If you even call it concrete, sir, because sand is more than cement. So now that's why you see all these buildings collapsing left and right. I am not impressed. If you are not contributing to Nigeria, I'm talking about, I'm not interested in people who just take. I'm interested in contributors. I'm interested in the likes of Aliko Dangote. He's a contributor. Man, the man put his money where his mouth is. See, guys like that impress me. But do you see Aliko Dangote moving around in a Rolls Royce, moving around, being fancy? You don't. It's always the broke people that you see. With their designer shirts and shoes and designer Louis Vuitton belt and their designer, what are you contributing? What are you doing to help Nigeria? Listen, I'm not impressed by Nigeria's $285 billion GDP. Guess what? The number I'm looking for is at least 1%. When Nigeria today, not the global, the combined GDP of all of the 54 African countries combined is only 3 trillion. I am not impressed by Africa. I'm sorry. The Nigerian president gets convoyed around in American cars. I am not impressed. Guess what would have been impressive to me? Moving around in Innocent's motto. Can't Innocent build a presidential fleet for the president of Nigeria? The president of Nigeria moves around in a Cadillac Escalade. He gets convoyed in GMC Yukons. My screen froze there. On freeze. I'm talking. You see, the internet can't stop me. The world is moving at warp speed, and I'm moving right along with it. Guys, see, I'm pointing out these things that most people ignore. Donald Trump moves around in a Cadillac, homegrown American brand. The president of Nigeria moves around in a Cadillac, homegrown American brand. When we have our own back home, Innocent, I understand. I don't know. Is he a car manufacturer? Is he an assembler? I mean, who really knows? Maybe one day I'll go and test drive an Innocent car and come and pitch it to the world. Maybe. I am not impressed. No Nigerian should be flexing. What is your contribution to the Nigerian economy? What's your contribution to the Nigerian society? How many jobs are you creating? How many factories are you opening up? I understand though, it's kind of hard for you to do anything though, because Nigeria doesn't have lights. Nigeria doesn't have electrical power. Consistently, at least from an industrial standpoint. You see why I'm saying that not Olusegun, Bola Ahmed Tinubu needs more time. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not going to be able to solve Nigeria's issue in 2 years and 8 months. Still premature. It's still too early. The man needs more time. Am I championing for the president? Am I cheerleading for the president of Nigeria? Absolutely not. I'm cheerleading for more time. So the man came in, made some moves that made a lot of people uncomfortable. And you know what? You need to find a way to start finding comfort in discomfort, because it's gonna get hard before it's gonna get hard before it gets easy. Get in the habit of finding comfort in discomfort. I don't see the upside of being the president of Nigeria. Don't let anybody lie to you. The president of Nigeria moves in a what? A used airplane. Is it a Boeing 7? Is it Boeing 737? I mean, what are Tinubu really moving? If you think Peter Obi is a solution or Atiku is a solution, you are wrong. There aren't any more better than Tinubu. Solutions wise. Now, before I dig deeper into this, I want to cover some top 10 challenges in Nigeria right now. I wouldn't want to wish the presidency of Nigeria I wouldn't wish the presidency of Nigeria on my worst enemy. That's a tough country to govern. Tough. In the 80s, I grew up in the 80s when the dollar was equal to Naira. It was a one-to-one ratio in the early 80s. If you guys are born in the late 70s and you grew up in the early 80s, you know what I'm talking about. I know for a fact because my dad left Nigeria in the late 70s and he came home frequently, and we used to go and exchange money. I remember when it was a dollar to 80 kobo. I remember when it was $1 to 1 naira. Guess what? Nigerians still complained. They still complained. In the 90s, early 90s to mid 90s, when fuel, petrol, was 65 naira per liter, Nigerians complained that it was too expensive. When it climbed to the hundreds, Nigerians complained it was too expensive. Now, at the peak last year that I paid, what was it, 1,500 naira per liter? Nigerians complained. Now it's down to what? 800 per liter. Nigerians still complain. So no matter what you do, that's what I'm telling you. It's a tough country to govern. You're not going to get anything done in 2 years and 8 months. You're not going to get much done in 4 years. When Buhari left office after 8 years, what did the man say? I can't wait to go home. It was tough. So for all the miracle chasers who want some sort of miracle super government to come in and solve Nigeria's 65 years of bad behavior in one administration, wake up and smell the coffee. Not happening. Not happening. That's why the man needs more time. I hate to break it down to you. You see, I follow global business. Let me give you an example. China. China's policies are largely consistent. That's what makes them one of the leaders in every sector imaginable. Their policies are consistent. It builds upon, it compounds over time. You hardly ever hear the Chinese, one policy today, then somebody comes in and reverses that policy. It's been consistent for the past 20 years. You see, that continuity is there. Nigeria doesn't have that. Same in the early, when I was growing up, this military dictator will come in, set his own political agenda. The next day, he'll get overthrown. The one that's now new will cancel that, create his own. A year later, that one is overthrown, that one is cancelled, another one comes in and creates their own. Before you know what's happening, 10 years has gone by with no consistency in policies. He needs time. He needs more time. The 10 challenges, I want to go over the 10 challenges in Nigeria that I see today. Energy deficit, number one. Without energy, you have nothing. Nothing. Let me tell you guys, the world is building hypercars. Nigeria is building a faster horse. That means we are not even in a global conversation when it comes to where the world is going. He's going to need more time. He's not going to be the savior of Nigeria. The next one isn't going to be the savior of Nigeria. Guess who's going to be the savior of Nigeria? Somebody that can come in and fix this energy deficit, number one. The states. Look, I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. There's Nevada Energy. The state of Nevada is every single state in the United States is responsible for their own energy supply. Every single state. Nigeria has been that way since the 60s. How many states in Nigeria? Don't they know that it's their responsibility to fix the energy issue or the energy problem and grow the energy sector in their respective states? Nigeria doesn't have that. You can't industrialize without energy. By that, I'm talking about electrical power. You can't industrialize. In order for us to begin to move into the where the world is going right now, quantum computing, super artificial intelligence, agentic AI, autonomous everything. The Nigerian, put it this way, the Nigerian agricultural sector is still using hand, manual. I wouldn't wish the presidency of Nigeria on my worst enemy. It's a tough country to govern. So he came in, like I said, and did things, made a lot of people uncomfortable, removed the fuel subsidy, unified the current the exchange, fluctuating exchange rate, so that things are stable. What is the exchange rate today in Nigeria? Is it not what 1470 something? Does that mean dollar is gaining? Dollar is gaining. So it's USD now to 1,477 naira. So dollar is gaining. I told you guys, usually Q1 it starts gaining. So we got to fix the energy deficits, number one. Big challenges in Nigeria. We also have the infrastructural gaps. Let me go ahead and share this. Challenges, infrastructural gaps, roads, ports, problem. Railway, problem. My grandfather worked for the Nigerian Railway when I was growing up. Has the Nigerian railway sector improved in the last 20 years? The answer is no. Has the Nigerian logistics system improved in the past 20 years? The answer is still no. Currency volatility. Foreign exchange instability complicates pricing, complicates contracts, complicates import, complicates long-term capital planning. Let's not forget the security risk. Insurgency, banditry, and theft. Guess what? That increases operational cost and deter investment outside select corridors. I spoke today about what? Sit at home is still going on. Some people chose in some parts of the country that every Monday they're going to select a day out of the week. Actually, let me stop sharing this for a second. So they decided that they're going to pick one day out of the week. That day was Monday. Why they chose Monday, I don't know. Does anybody know? Why did they choose Tuesday? Somebody that they don't know and have never met told them to stay home. And they did. Harassing people who chose not to stay home. Someone like me, if I want to go out right now with this current sit-at-home issue, and I'm going out and I'm trying to patronize businesses, as the mere fact that I went out to support businesses, I am at risk. They're coming out, they're beating people. In some cases, they're shooting people off their motorcycles because they chose to move about their day, their lives on a Monday. Well, I thought it was sit at home, really. I mean, isn't that what it means? You sit at home, maybe you kick your feet up, you watch TV, and you kind of just relax and watch millionaires making millions while you're staying at home. Isn't that to me, when you're sitting at home. See, when you get up and start harassing the public, that's no longer sit at home. That's you moving around doing something. So you are not really sitting at home, are you? So what's the benefits of just picking one day out of the week to do this? Why not just pick the whole 7 days and just stay your ass at home? All because somebody told you to stay home. It's still going on. Solodu did the right thing. I don't want to move too much away from Tinubu's presidency and administration because, listen, as a matter at the end of the day, I mean, Solodu is a governor under the Tinubu administration, isn't it? So I kind of guess this applies to him too. Is Solodu PDP? Is he ADC or APC? I don't know his political or his party affiliation, but he's a governor under Tinubu's administration. So Solodu went in and said, I'm shutting down the Onitsha market. If you think you're going to sit at home on a Monday and then come and open your store on a Tuesday, you're gravely mistaken. So I'm going to close Tuesday, close Wednesday, close Thursday, close Friday, close Saturday, close Sunday. I'm going to shut it down for a week. And if you want to continue this, I'm going to extend it to another week. 100% in support of Governor of Anambra State, Governor Soludo. Listen, I don't follow him, but I've seen some of his speeches and some of his keynotes. The man is exposed. He knows what he's doing. These same sit-at-home people are going to be the first person to criticize the administration of Bola Tinubu. If Atiku was there, they would criticize his administration. If what you call it, Obi was there, they probably criticize his administration because they refuse to go, get up, and put in a day's work, honest day's work. These are the challenges. And you think Tinubu is gonna come in and change squalor of behavior? Told you guys this before. We have an infrastructure problem in Nigeria. We also have a behavioral problem in Nigeria. My father was a clinical forensics psychologist. So behavioral, any kind of behavioral matters I'm kind of familiar with. Squalor of behavior. So the person that told you to sit at home is somewhere in Finnish prison, jailed, convicted and jailed. It's not as if we just carried you and put you up, jailed. You are still at home. Why don't you get up and support your community? Why don't you get up? Those who are in this region, I'm not going to say the name of the region, but you know who you are. Get up and contribute to your society and help lift Nigeria out of this $285 billion a year GDP that we are in. This meager GDP. And you see why the world is not paying attention to Nigerians. Embarrassing. Can't travel anywhere. UK has banned you. UAE has banned us. US has banned us. We are in Canada committing all sorts of craziness, forging documents. Now, there are some people in Canada that are doing well. They went there legally. But man, I spoke to a friend of mine over the weekend. They're in Montreal. Is this Niger thing really true? A true Canadian, born Canadian, told me yes. The president of Nigeria is not going to come in and fix the country in 2 years and 8 months. They need more time. Are they qualified? I don't know. But then again, who knows who's qualified to lead Nigeria? Who knows? If you feel you can do a better job than those who ran for office or those who are in office, then run for office. Otherwise, reach out to your representatives in your respective states and see how you can help, how you can contribute. Bring your ideas. Remember, you're going to have a hard time though because Nigeria doesn't have basic electricity, basic energy. Nigeria doesn't have that. So we need people that will come in my opinion, and start with the energy issue. That's what we need. So the president is jet setting again. He's off to Turkey. Police, like I said, the policy inconsistency. I gave you the Chinese example where they've had policy consistency for the past 20 years because it compounds their policy consistency is going to extend over the next 20 years. That's how you win. But we have policy inconsistency. That's not going to be solved in 2 years and 8 months now. It's not even going to be solved in 4 years. Now, some of you are thinking, he's got 4 years. He's only going to do 4 years. He's not going to be reelected. Says who? How many states do we have in Nigeria? 30 states in Nigeria, correct? Sorry, 36 states in Nigeria, correct, ladies and gentlemen? Aren't 30 of those state governors APC governors? Most of them were what? PDP, then they defected. So tell me how a sitting president that has the support of 30 out of 36 governors won't win re-election. You see, some of you operate on emotions. Look at the facts, look at the data, look at the numbers. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. I'm not cheerleading for him. I'm not cheerleading for the administration. As a matter of fact, like I said, it doesn't really matter who is in office. It doesn't fix the deficit challenge. It doesn't solve the infrastructural challenge. It doesn't solve the currency volatility. It doesn't solve the security risk. It doesn't solve the policy inconsistency. Low industrial base. People are always saying unemployment and underemployment. Nigeria has a populous nation. Yeah, we have a younger workforce. Oh yeah, you have a young workforce that's largely unskilled. Or in some cases, underskilled. I've told this story before. I went to Nigeria with a training program, a basic construction training program to teach. I set everything up for free. Come in and learn. Spend a day on a construction site free of cost. I provided the team, I provided the machinery, I provided the dates, I provided the time. Guess what Nigerians wanted? Guess what they were asking me? They were asking me if I would also pay them for attending a free training session on construction. Behavior. 65 years of this. And then you expect somebody to come in, or we, I shouldn't say you, let me just say me. I don't expect somebody to come in and turn things around in 2 years and actually in 8 years. I'm sorry to break the news. That is just the mere fact. We got to look at these issues. We got to look at these basic foundational challenges. Capital access constraints is another issue. Who is going to want to invest in a country that doesn't have constant electricity? At least give me the option. The way it works in the United States is Nevada Energy provides the electricity. I consume electricity, and then at the end of the month, I get a bill based on my electrical power consumption. Some months are higher than others. In the summertime, my bill is higher because I live in the desert and it can get up to 120 degrees in Las Vegas on a hot summer day. It can get up to 120. So my bills are a little bit higher. And then when the bill comes, I pay my bill and I start the cycle over again. In the winter time, my bill is a little bit lower because it's not as hot. So the need to cool my home is not really, the need to cool my home in the wintertime is not really there. And then 2 months out of every year, generally in May and October, we don't turn the AC on at all. We just leave it off and open the window. So our bill in May and our bill in October is largely low. But the point I'm making is that the power is there. I pay my bill. And when I can't pay my bill, Nevada Energy comes and turns my lights off. I remember when I was in college, broke as a joke in college, couldn't afford to pay my electricity. They'll come and turn your lights off. That's just the end of the day. And then when you pay your bill, they will reconnect your lights. That's how it works. Nigerians don't have that option. I told you guys a story about my home in Nigeria. I went to my home in Nigeria. They they wanted me to pay my bill. I said, what are you talking about? When you give me consistent electricity, I will pay that bill because I need power. Well, pay what the little lights that we gave you is what we are asking for. You want to industrialize with no power. If I'm advising the president of Nigeria right now, no, listen, the guy's in Turkey. Let me share that screen again. Go into Turkey. I would want some sort of priority and emphasis on energy. Governance and institutional weakness. We don't have that consistency. Human capital mismatch. Nigerians are some of the most educated people on earth by book, not in practice. So the president of Nigeria going to Turkey, what is he doing in Turkey? He just left today, Monday, the 26th. Republic of Turkey. The visit is aimed at strengthening the existing cordial relations between the two countries and exploring further areas of cooperation in security, education, social development, innovation, and aviation. What about energy? Shouldn't we be driving energy, resolving the energy issue in Nigeria? The Turkish president, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, paid an official visit to Nigeria back in 2021. I think Tinubu wasn't in office then. I think was it in Buhari then? This agenda will include meetings between high-ranking officials of both nations and the signing of memoranda of course, now you know us now. We don't really love the MOUs. It's like Nigeria and MOUs go hand in hand. In scientific research, okay, energy is there. Technical cooperation, media, communications, military cooperation, and protocol. A business forum will bring together investors from both countries to explore areas of interest during the visit. Members of the president's entourage participating in bilateral discussions include the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, AG. Who else? Who else? Minister of Defense, Musa is going. Jim Benson, the House Committee on Defense. Others are Minister of Women's and Social Development, and the list goes on and on and on. Now, let's look at the president's policy, see what we can find here. This is part of the president's renewed agenda policy that centers around security, economy, transparency, and anti-corruption. See what's here. Let's go back. Who is in the president's cabinet? 47 people are in the president's cabinet. But like I said, guys, the president of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is going to need more time because of all of the challenges that Nigeria has. He can't, in my opinion, come in and turn things around in 2 years and 8 months. He may not even be able to do it in 8 years. We got to fix these institutional issues. We got to fix these infrastructural issues. And it all starts with energy. Let's not even begin to talk about what everybody else is focused on right now, which is artificial intelligence. Nigeria is not even in the conversation. You know, JFK, close with this. John F. Kennedy said this. For those who are criticizing the president of Nigeria, John F. Kennedy said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. But then on the flip side, at least in JFK's case, in America's case, we already had the energy infrastructure now. So light is there. You see, when you have light 24/7, 365, you are able to innovate. Stop sharing this. You are able to ideate. You are able to think outside the box. Energy grows every sector. You see, when I'm able to cool my meat in my refrigerator, I buy more meat. And when I buy more meat, I'm helping to help grow the livestock and the agricultural sector. Isn't that how it works? When I'm able to cool my meat, my milk, and store my milk in my refrigerator, guess what? I help to support those who are in the appliance manufacturing sector. You see, all of this ties to energy. Refrigerator makers will sell more fridge. The dairy industry will grow if I'm buying milk because I have a place to store the milk in my refrigerator. Most Nigerians don't own refrigerators because there's no lights. All of this is a domino effect. When I have 24/7 electricity, a lot of Nigerians right now are just fleeing just for the mere fact that there's no light for them to do their jobs. Look at what's happening in the podcasting space and the content creation space online. Some people have to move out of the country just to be able to grow their content creation and the podcasting business. Because every time that they're recording something, the NEPA takes light. The president of Nigeria, whether it's Tinubu, whether it's whoever, You can jet set the world and travel all you want to. But if we don't fix this energy issue, we are always going to be, it's like I liken it to a song rendition. It's like the same song but different singers. That's what Nigeria is right now. Same song but different rendition. We changed the national anthem, but we didn't fix energy. You see some of these governors under President Tinubu's administration, those before him and those currently and those after, they are prioritizing the development of governor uh, residential properties that they are going to power with generator. Tinubu needs more time. So lay off of him a little bit. If you are going to criticize, criticize small, but also understand what he or they, this current administration, inherited. Was the past 8 years of Buhari's presidency any better? Is Nigeria better off today than it was 8 years ago? Remember, guys, the Buhari presidency wasn't fuel like what 130 something naira per liter. The people still not complain. Energy needs to be fixed. Then the mindsets. This is where the behavior problem comes in. And a good example is that sit at home thing I'm talking about. Where an able bodied person will choose on his own accord to stay home instead of go to work. And then they'll choose on their own accord, as if staying home wasn't enough. Then they're going to get up, open their door, get on an Okada, and then they go and harass others that choose not to stay at home. Is that no madness? Like I said, you got to take a stand. You see, silence is also complicity. You're complicit to issues when you're silent. I'm not saying go around and start making all sorts of crazy weird noise. I'm just saying pick a position. And remember, that position is neither right nor wrong. Whether you are pro-Tinubu administration, anti-Tinubu, or you are in the middle, neutral, you don't care in one way or another. But we got, in my opinion, I feel as citizens, yes, we are in a diaspora, but some of us, we still care. There are some Nigerians that have written Nigeria off altogether. They want nothing to do with Nigeria. Absolutely nothing. See, those ones are gone. They are lost cause. There's nothing you can do. But then there are others out there, although we may be physically out of the country, but we are still emotionally connected to it. Majority of us are looking for things to do. We want to come back home. And I get this question all the time. What can I do? Man, it's going to be, you can do whatever you want. But just understand the challenges that you're going to face as a result of the energy deficit in Nigeria. Maybe that's what you should optimize for. But it's kind of hard for you to optimize though when you are dependent on powering your business with a high capacity generator or maybe solar, what have you. I'm just saying, know that these constraints are there before you go all in. Dangote works because he invested in energy first. He solved the light problem first. Dangote refinery does not depend on Nigeria's national grid. Dangote solved the energy problem first. That operation runs 24/7 with light. He solved that first. Unless you are able to solve for those who are watching abroad and you want to go and do something back home, optimize for energy first and foremost. How are you going to power your operation? How are you going to power your business? How are you going to power your company? And this is where we need Nigerian leadership to come in. For us to grow as a nation, we need to prioritize energy more. It's not the selling of natural resources and critical mineral. It's not trade. It's not so-called we are open for business, invest here and there. Energy. That will be solving the energy issue will be, in my honest opinion, I'm going to close with this, will be the beginning of the end of Nigeria's problems. But also remember too, 65 years of this, we may not really see a change in the next, maybe not in my lifetime. Because nothing indicates to me, based on what I'm seeing right now in Nigeria, that we can go from 285 billion GDP to 600, 500 billion. I just don't see it. I don't see the pathway forward for Nigeria to be able to accomplish that today. You see me, I don't listen to noise. I listen to signals. And I want to see a roadmap. That is how, you see, I started this with saying, I am not impressed. If you want to impress me, show me how we can go from 285 billion. You see, it's all about the numbers. The United States GDP is about to be blown wide open. The next 2 years, currently is what, 30 trillion? I guarantee you in the next 2 years, US GDP is going to be $50 trillion a year because we've got the artificial intelligence stack locked down. Everything it takes to blow the current global GDP wide open, the United States of America controls. Where's Nigeria's pathway to? Listen, I don't care if it's Obi in office or Atiku in office or your dad. I need somebody that can come in and show me the blueprint on how we can go from 285 billion to 500 in 2 years. I don't see the pathway. It's not jet setting to Turkey. It's not going to UAE. It's not doing trade. It's not selling foreign critical minerals. That's not going to get us to where we need to go. The world looks at numbers. CEOs, when they are investing in the nation, they look at numbers. When other countries are coming in to invest in Nigeria, they're looking at numbers. We don't have that. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm going to start keeping things to under an hour. I really appreciate your time. Be sure to like, share, and comment. My name is Rich Mbereket, Nigerian-born, US-based entrepreneur. Visit mbereket.com. Enterprise US Nigeria markets is what I talk about. If you're looking for high-level content, substance conversations like this, be sure to like, share, and comment. And most importantly, please subscribe so that next time I drop my live, you are notified. And be sure to hit that bell. That's how you're notified when I go live. If I don't catch you, nah, I'm not going to do anything else today. It's already 11 a.m. here. But maybe tomorrow I'll hop back on with another topic. Okay? Talking about markets. We're going to maybe talk about stocks. Kind of talk about what's happening in the United States. And I kind of mix and match a little bit what's going on in Nigeria and what's happening in the US. Maybe tomorrow we'll dive more into business. All right, guys. Thank you for your time. It's 11 a.m. Rich and Berry Cat. Talk to you guys.